Oh, hi! I'm gonna read you guys this news article and you could make your own judgments. Basically, this came out, or I saw it today, and today is August 9th, so by the time you're seeing this video, this is probably going to be old news. Vietnam, jungle men found hiding from war. A father and son are found in the jungle after more than 4 decades hiding from the horrors of the Vietnam War. A father and son have been found living in the jungle more than 40 years after they fled US bombing during the Vietnam War. Ho Van Tan, that's probably not how to pronounce it, left his home village with his baby son Ho Van Lang in 1971 after a mine blast killed his wife and 2 of his children. The pair apparently survived by foraging for fruit, lived in a timber treehouse, and wore loincloths made from tree bark. The authorities were alerted after locals searching for firewood spotted the men deep in the forest of Quang Noi Province's Tai Tra district. A team was set up to look for the pair, now aged 82 and 41, and found them after a 5-hour search. When found, Ho Van Tan was too weak to walk and had to be taken out of the jungle on a stretcher. The father could speak a little of the region's core language, but the son only knew a few words. The pair have been checked by doctors, and a decision must now be made on how to reintegrate them into society. Ho Van Tan is believed to have lived a normal life in the hamlet of Tra Kem, but fled into the jungle after the explosion that decimated his family. The men are thought to have grown their own food and even cultivated tobacco during their time in the wilderness. Another son, Ho Van Tri, told Vietnamese newspaper VN Express that he found them hiding out around 2 decades ago but could not convince them to return home with him. The Vietnam War was a Cold War era conflict that claimed millions of military and civilian lives and left surviving soldiers and victims traumatized. The US dropped millions of tons of bombs on Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia during the war, which ended in 1975 with the fall of Saigon to North Vietnamese forces. There's also a picture of the son being walked out by men and the father being carried away, and then the father on a stretcher. And basically this brought up a few sort of thoughts for me that I thought maybe I'll comment on today. The other son was like, look, I went and I looked for them, and yeah, they didn't want to come with me, so yeah. And then, the government decides, oh, we can't leave these people in the forest being happy and healthy and living their lives for the last 40 odd years. We have to go get them and reintegrate them into society. Like, has anyone asked them if they want to be reintegrated into society? Maybe they would be happy to be left alone. That's just not how it works. You can't be a person off the radar. You have to have like your social security number and you have to pay taxes. And that's life for every single person. And I find that really sad, because these 2 men seemed to have been living a perfectly comfortable life, a perfectly comfortable existence for the last 42 years. So why now all of a sudden does their life have to be disrupted and they have to be brought back to civilization? It's just beyond me. I mean, the son has never seen this many people, has never experienced anything other than growing up in the forest with his dad. It just seems like a cruel, selfish thing to do, or like a media thing to, oh, this'll be a great Hollywood blockbuster, and I'm sure it will, and I look forward to seeing Channing Tatum in leading role as 42-year-old son. But yeah, on a serious note, it's just something that I don't particularly agree with. I just don't see it going well, I mean, this man is 82 years old. He's lived away from the real world since he was 40. He hasn't, probably the last thing he saw in civilization was war. So, it just, to me, doesn't seem the compassionate thing to do. Another little thing, how ironic that, they went into the forest and were like, God, let's run away from the Americans who are bombing us. And now they re-enter the real world, you know, it's going to be like, oh, don't worry, the Americans aren't bombing us anymore. They've moved on to start bombing some other poor innocent people. 42 years and not much has changed. My issue here, or the topic that I'm trying to raise, is, you know, do we actually matter? Sorry, I don't want this to sound like I'm trying to be super like intelligent or whatever. I'm not like trying to have a really in-depth conversation about this. You know, it's not that big of a deal if other people agree that, you know, in this case and many others, it seems that our quality of life doesn't matter. It's more the fact that you are, you know, alive, or the quantity of life, you know, that they're registered with the government, that they get their official IDs, all that sort of stuff. It doesn't matter what these people actually want to do. And I think that's sad. And to be honest, I would be happy to head back into the forest with them. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I will see you next week. So have a really lovely week and keep happy. Bye!